Hello, everyone. Welcome to Off the Charts, episode 64. Today, we'll be doing the best year from the decade of the 90s. Before I announce the winner, first of all, this is my little flannel get up for this episode. But before I start this, I always badmouth the 90s. And don't worry, I still will, okay? But I did not realize how bad it was until I started doing this episode. And I was calculating how many of my favorite albums that I had in the 80s versus the 80s, and it dropped dramatically, almost more than half. Like, my favorite year for the 80s episode was 1984. This one, I'll tell you in a second here, but I was scrounging and looking for I was literally going on every iTunes album I have, or Discogs, or on Wikipedia, Google, everywhere. I was desperate trying to find some material, because the number of albums, if I'm just looking at my collection and going off just YouTube and Wikipedia, I was like, in the 80s, I was like, either 20s was a low year and 40s was like a good year, which was 1984. Was in the 40s anyway, albums. 90s, I was like, it was all below 10. Some had 7. I was like, oh my god, okay, I gotta look further. And of course I found a few more. But anyway, the winner of the best year of the 90s is, again, drum roll, 1991. Not very original. I know it's very close to the 80s, but wow, it just, I was calculating all my albums, and it was going down, and not steady. It went from say 80 and then 90s went just like that. My favorite bands were not even making new albums. I realized a lot of them were greatest hits. And the thing is, what pisses me off is, I'll use Rat as an example. I got that Rat 81-91, which came out in 91, obviously. And then I went backwards and got all those albums afterwards, which was a lot of the hair metal. So which was depressing, actually, because I was like, fuck, I missed my chance to seeing all these good bands live. I missed them in their prime. So, I mean, a lot of them I liked in their prime, don't get me wrong there, but a lot of them was later in the game. And I was just looking at the album, not the album titles, the bands that were coming out, and it was just depressing. I was like, no wonder I fucking hate the 90s. So anyway, enough of my rant on this year. Maybe some of you do like the 90s, but I fucking hated the 90s. It was a depressing time. First of all, I was not, I guess, enjoying myself as much musically and all that, but it's like, holy shit. It was like, and here I was just friggin' trying to find album after album. And something funny that, well, you'll see there. So anyway, let's start off. I'm just gonna, enough ranting here. We'll just go by fast there. A lot of them, well, first of all, here's number one of them there, Scatterbrains, Scam Boogery. Used to love these guys. Boy, did they not age well. Just funny funk metal, I guess, there. You'll notice a lot of my 90s albums are going to be CDs. Why? Because I didn't bother. Well, first of all, a lot of the vinyl in 90s does not exist, first of all. But most of these I will not even bother going to buy them or rebuy them on vinyl, just because they're shit mostly there. This is not shit here there. Chrissy Steele, Magnet to Steel. I know I've talked about it in my another episode here, but here's another one, 1991. I wish I can get this one on vinyl. Kix Hot Wire. If I want to dish out $400. But yeah, Kix Hot Wire. That's another great album here, by the way. I discovered these guys late in the game. The Scream, and you can see it's signed by John Corabi. Who is John Corabi? Well, he's the one. He used to be in this band before he went and joined Motley Crue for that famous non-Vince Neil album. If you're curious to see who The Scream is, this is where he's from. Let It Scream, great album. Another great band here that doesn't get enough recognition here. Enough's Enough. Some of them have been reissued on vinyl. Maybe I'll get them. We'll see there. It's getting a little expensive here. But Enough's Enough Strength, another 1991 good album here. XYZ, Hungry, their second album, is actually very good. I actually like this one a lot too. They have 3 albums, 2 that are worth mentioning there. But yeah, XYZ, Hungry is another one right here. Kick Tracy, No Rules. There's one here, 1991. Let's have a sip. I'm not cheering to the 90s, sorry. Did I mention how much I fucking hated the 90s? No? Okay, now you know. Dangerous Toys, Hellacious Acres. Good album. Not my favorite from them. Oh. Man, did this album ever cause fights or arguments between us friends? Some of us liked it. Some of us hated it. Did not age well. Maybe, what's that song there? The Chance, right? Where is it there? Yeah, The Chance. I mean, some are decent songs, but it's mostly a forgettable album by Halloween, if you ask me there. I just don't find it aged well. But, man, did we ever talk about this back when it came out? I was like, my friend, huge Halloween fan. That song sucks. No, it doesn't. That whole album sucks. No, it doesn't. Badlands, Voodoo Highway. This band is very divided. I don't see what the big deal is, to be honest. I mean, there's some great... I like this one better a little bit than... Well, you know what? They're both equal. But the last time, I do like that song a lot. But apart from that, it's like, it's okay there. I don't get the huge critically acclaimed appeal from this band here. But if ever comes out and there's only 3 albums, so like if I can ever find it on vinyl, I will get it definitely there. They talk about these guys in my lesser-known hair metal bands. Black Eyed Susan, Electric Rattlebone. Who's Black Eyed Susan? Well, it's when the original singer of Britney Fox got either kicked out or left. He went and formed this one album, then disappeared. Decent. Bonham, Mad Hatter, 1991. Jason Bonham's band. I guess I have I know there was 2 covers for this here. I guess I think this is just a reissue, not even a remaster. I have the first one on vinyl upstairs. Because I found it by accident with my friend Yan, and he got mad at me. I was here to buy that then. Sure you were. Alright. This one's actually a pretty cool packaging. I'll give him that. And I do like the album a lot. Which is Bullet Boys Freak Show. And I'll show you the packet. I had the... Anyway, it unfolds like this, but it's... How the hell do... I have to look... I guess if you look through it or something like that there... Oh yeah, I see it now. Do I look like an idiot? Anyway, there's a hole in there, a peephole. Anyway, it's a cool... Anyway, Freak Show by Bullet Boys actually is a very good album too. I'll give him that there. That's it for CDs. So most of these, either I will never get them on vinyl because they don't exist, or mostly that's about it. But some of them is like, whatever. We'll see. They have to be very cheap. Here I am bitching about the 90s, and I'm listening to myself talk. I'm like, am I downing these guys also? I promise I'm a very happy guy. Alright, so here's the vinyls. Great White, Hooked, I much prefer this album cover than the censored one that I think the chick was like, this was all you saw. The chick was in the water. Now this is the whole album cover. You know, Hooked. This band does nothing for me. I'm sorry. I saw them on this tour too. They opened for Scorpions for the Crazy World tour. One of the better soundtracks out there, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. I love this. Love this soundtrack here. But here we go. 1991 also. Very proud to have found this. The Mighty Saxon came out with Solid Ball of Rock. So, you can see my mood has changed a little bit there with the vinyl. This one was hard to find, but Van Halen for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. I have it on CD too there, but this was worth the one. It's everything after this one. It's fucking expensive to get. I'm like, ugh. Anyway, one of my, probably my favorite Van Halen album. I did a Van Halen ranking in another episode there. I think this finished first. Tesla Psychotic Supper. Man, this is such a great album here. Took me a while to love these guys when they first came out. I had them on cassette and on CD. And now I got most of them on vinyl. Some of them, I got everything that I can get on vinyl from this band. The rest is just because they don't exist. I mean, Psychotic Supper, great album here. Ooh, some people will be surprised to see this in my collection, but Voivod, Angel Rat. I bought this on cassette. I have this. I still have it. Because I freaking love that video that came out there, Clouds in My House. Apparently this was a little flop, according to them. I think. I'm not a Voivod expert. Not at all. But now I own 3 albums by then. Go figure, huh? How times change. I found this on Record Store Day, so this was a nice re-release here. Another band I didn't really care for at the time, but man, the vocals are so good here. It's very original hair metal there, or hard rock. Saigon Kick, their self-titled first one. I think they're from Florida. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have the first 2 on vinyl. The third one was at Water, when the singer left or whatever, and then the 4th one I never heard. It's not on iTunes. It's hard to get on CD there, but I'll get them if they come out. Rush, Roll the Bones. Oh yeah, that's a good one here too. Very proud to have found this one finally at a decent price. Hard to get these days. So, Rush, Roll the Bones. One of my favorites, if not my favorite from this band, Savatage, Streets. I love their re-releases. Now these guys know what the hell they're doing here, because they're like, you know what, vinyl's making a comeback. Let's release all of our discography on 2 albums at a time, one every 2 months. 2 albums every 2 months or something like that there. These guys know what they're doing right now. They're catering to the fans. So if any other bands out there hear this, reissue your music on vinyl. Trust me, it will be bought. But yeah, they're doing, and this was not the most popular band here in Canada anyway. Well, they were on Atlantic, and every album they released, they're still on Atlantic Records. They're still on Atlantic Records. Who the hell is buying these? Like, not many of our friends knew. They never came over to tour here in Canada. It doesn't make the band bad there, though. That's not what I'm saying there, but I'm just like, if these guys can do it, a lot of other bands can reissue their discography on vinyl too. So Streets, a rock opera, 1991. Great one. And last one, Alice Cooper, Hey Stupid. He came to Montreal, and I didn't go for that. I forget why. It was with Judas Priest, Alice Cooper, Motorhead, Metal Church, and Dangerous Toys. All of them. Operation Rock and Roll. Forget why. Even my friend Steph didn't go. Anyway, wish I had seen that tour. Good album too. And that's it for the 90s. Like, that was a quick one compared to the 80s and even the 70s. I had something to say. The 90s, I just... Nope. The grunge and all that there, and the... Like I said, musically, I was not in a good place at all at that time. I was just like, no, this is not doing... Anyway, whatever. I must say, I will add, I forgot to add, I do have David Lee Roth, A Little Ain't Enough, on the way in the mail. Just so I can complete my David Lee Roth vinyl collection, which I'm going to be missing a few more. There's some odd ones after he released there, but again, just like 91, I was looking at it's like 92 was passable, up to maybe 93. And then 94 and on, I was just like, ugh. There was like, and then some bands some bands that I like were changing their style. Anyway, enough of my fucking ranting here. I'm fucking depressing myself again there. I was in a good mood when I went through the vinyls there. So, Anyway, on that note, 1991 is the winner of the best year in music for the 90s. This was actually the most difficult episode to do in terms of research and trying to find what I had in my collection. I was like, I just couldn't believe how dramatically the album purchases dropped in my collection anyway. So anyway, there you go. Next up, I guess it'll be the 2000s. Hopefully it'll be better. I think it was actually a lot better there. Just the 90s with whatever. Anyway, enough about that. Thank you for watching. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe and also tell your friends. Got a few little subscriptions this past week there, so thank you for that. But like I said, yeah, if you like what you see here, please subscribe. There's going to be more content. And next episode will be the 2000s, and then I guess the 2010s, and I'll have done everything up until the 2020s. Well, I guess I'll do an episode on the best decade of the 2020 when I'm doing my episode in 2030. Let's see if I'm still online for doing that. All right, on that note, have yourself a great day, guys. And we shall see you next episode. Have a good one. Bye-bye.